So normally I wouldn't include a trip to Hardwood Mills as an intro for this Lake Anna video, but it really was and became a part of my practice with this whole damage. I mean, catching a few before I got to the tournament, getting a feel for fight, the whole nine.
Oh, that took a long time. Usual story out here, bro. These males are giants. As simple as that. Took a while on this one, but he was working weight. I'm not gonna weigh him today, man. I know that one's a 4-pounder easy. I could see it when I got hung up earlier. Had to go get unhung, man. But that's the first one, man. First bed fish of the year, bro. Another quality fish out here in my little honey hole. And thank you, buddy. Had to do a little, not really magic, man. You know, he kept hitting the jig, hitting the jig, but he was only getting the trailer. So I took this clone crossing. Any of y'all know this clone crossing is got segments, and I cut them segments, cut like 3 of them off to really shorten the jig, man. The cast before, he hit it, and I missed him a couple of times because he just wasn't getting the whole hook with this big jig. Kelly Jordan flipping jig, and a green pumpkin, probably not green pumpkin, that's a blizzard colored clone crossing, and I cut 3 segments off and finally got that fish to bite. Got him in the boat. Took a good little while on that one though. Get that first one of the year out the way, so when I get on Anna tomorrow, if I see some spawners, I'll be ready. And he right back on the bed. For those who got an issue with bed fishing, he literally back over there protecting the bed. So that's all I gotta say about that.
Again, these fish were instrumental in my success Saturday on Anna. I mean, people ask me all the time, man, how to get practice for fishing? And this is an example of practicing, right? You know, I caught these 3 fish in practice on Thursday before I even went down to official practice on Friday on Anna.
Not a giant, but fun nonetheless. Bed fish number 2 for the year. Yeah. You talk about fun, bro. Good way to wind down a kind of rough day at work. On a fun day either, man. That's a quality fish. Probably close to 3, probably 2.5, 2 3/4. Definitely close to 3 pounds, man. Same deal. Kelly Jordan flipping jig, some swampers, and a very short, compact. Like I said, I cut 3 segments off of that clone crossing, and hey, just a matter of time, man. That might have been 12 cash. Thank you, buddy.
And for those of y'all that know, you know, sometimes it might take 10, 15, 30 minutes or plus to catch a bed fish. So 12 casts was pretty quick in the big scheme of things.
Boy, this is so much fun. It's just so hard to put a price on this right here. But I'm just telling you, if you've never done it, yourself a favor and just go try it. It's that intimate time with the bass, man, that you don't get no other time of the year. You can just sit and watch them do what it is that they do. And that's just another quality. That's a 3+ right there all day. And super shallow bed, man. The water dropping as low as I ever seen it out here. I'm gonna catch hell get the boat back on the trailer, but you know, 3 fish later, I'm sure, hopefully it'll be worth it. Thank you, buddy.
All right, fam. First day of practice. Um, Doing a whole lot more looking than fishing, but this is one of the 2 fish that I caught in practice. And I mean, we talk about hitting it right at the boat. I mean, he smashed it right at the boat.
Man, talk about hitting me right at the boat. It kind of surprised me a little bit there. A day like today, you gotta think top water, man. I mean, this water's clear, and I mean, I'm not coming out here to try to kill them, but I am out here trying to catch a few just to see the quality. Right now, I feel like I should probably be just back way off on these points, and that's what that is, a little small point. Got another one coming up, and my plan was just to, I'm thinking in my head, let's back off these points, just cast the top water up on these points and see what happens. The water temperature is 63, and in my head, I would think they'd be spawning, but so far I haven't seen any beds. But I'm gonna try this whole running these points with the top water for a little while.
And for those of you out here that like to catch 15 to 20 pounds a day in practice and then don't catch them in the tournament, you might want to rethink that strategy. I mean, it's a reason why you're not catching them in the tournament.
This is the kind of stuff I learned to do at Hartwell, man. I don't know. I ain't learned top water at Hartwell, but I learned certain top water baits work real well in these gin clear places with blueback herring. That's not a giant, man. I'm excited that I found that spawning pocket I was looking for. Whew. That little pocket loaded with fish. I ain't mess with none of them either. Come on over here about my business. Push me. He'll be there tomorrow.
All right, start of day 1. Let me repeat. All of those bedfish I found on Friday, I didn't stick, not nary a one. And I'm glad I didn't, because every fish I weighed in, I ate that fish, including this one that ends up pulling off in the video. If I had not gotten this fish in the boat, and it's the first fish of the day, I would not have won the tournament. And I say that because I only won by 0.15 pounds. That is not a lot, a margin of victory. And this was not a tournament that I could afford to make any mistakes or have any fish pull off or anything. So fishing clean ended up being imperative, including getting this fish in the boat. And this is one of the 5 that I weighed in. You'll notice I put the orange tag on him, and then the next one I put a yellow tag on. Those fish are still on those tags at the weigh-in and later on in the day. So it was critical that I put every fish in the boat that bit, including that one, to ensure that I got the W. This fish was the last fish I found in practice, man. Just looking around on this little dark stump, this dark spot. And I ended up weighing this fish in, and I let this fish grab the bait and spit it out a few times in practice, but I did not stick this fish, and I'm glad I did. Because like I said, I needed every fish I caught to win this tournament.
In the mouth. It's just in the mouth, but it's in the mouth.
And these next three fish, fish number 3, 4, and 5, they all happen within like a 15-minute stretch of time, which, for those of y'all who bed fish, I know y'all understand that that is not a lot of time to put 3 fish in the boat. So, you know, I just appreciate the fish cooperating so quickly and, me being able to fill out my limit, in a pretty short span of time.
Not a giant. That's 3 in the box, baby. Alright, in the mouth, fish number 4. They're not giants, man. They not them big monster bucks that got on Suffolk Lake, but gotta start somewhere. I'll find one of them big boys here shortly, hopefully. Mission number 1 to get a limit.
So this fish here that I'm about to catch, fish number 5, was that 3-pound class, that quality that I really needed getting going. Fish number 3 and fish number 4, God willing, I end up culling those fish out, man. They were considerably smaller even than the first 2 I caught, and they weren't giants, but I was fortunate to be able to catch a couple of really quality fish here coming up to get those 2 smaller fish out the boat.
Getting a little bigger. 3 in this one pocket, baby. It's that pocket I was looking for in practice yesterday. I kept thinking if I could just find a pocket with more than one bed in it. And I've sure enough found it. Breathe, breathe. Three boats sitting outside this pocket just now, man. I'm glad I come on in here. I started to leave and come back, but I'm glad I didn't. That's a better quality male right there. About a 3-pounder. That's also fish number 5. I don't know if this one's gonna help or not, but we're gonna take a peek and find out. Couldn't see how big or small he was. I just know he was down there. So when in doubt, set the hook. little bit better than that. So green, then white. Green, then white. Green, then white.
I saw this fish on probably the second or third pass through this little pocket, man. I looked down and saw this, you know, for where I was, a giant, almost a 4 pounder. I seen the fish and I'm like, okay, let me set up, let me point at him the right way so he can't see the whole boat. I made a ton of casts of this fish and made take note to where the boat hit the water and where I actually set the hook. That fish grabbed the bait and swam it almost to the boat. You know, it was, just one of those things, man. He grabbed it and swam it out the bed. And, I had to take a knee to kind of make sure that I kept that fish down. I didn't want the fish to jump, have an opportunity to throw the bait. So, I'm working hard to keep the fish down and just anything I could do to keep him from jumping to make sure that I get him in the boat.
That's them game changers right there. Yes, sir. In the mouth. He ain't hooked real good, but he hooked good enough. In the mouth. That's that time right there, baby. That's that tight. Green and white. Show y'all the code here in a minute. White is next. And look at this code right here. That's what I'm talking about, bro. That's how you get this done out here. Yes, sir. And white is next. No problem. Woo. Man, I'm glad I got that practice in that hardwood mill. Boy, this pocket loaded with fish. I mean loaded. Called twice. That ain't no absolute giant, but that's a good one. I mean a good one. Man, it's that kind of pocket I was looking for, man. I just kept saying that in practice. I need to find one pocket, man, that's got a bunch of fish in it. Whew. And I sure found it. I stumbled across it, bro. And got another little spot that hopefully the boys ain't picked them off yet.
Man, listen, that was a 2 to 2.5 pound call. And game changing type call right there. I mean, when you can swap out a small fish for a giant like that, or for a 4 pounder like that, uh, those are just those game changing calls. And this one not quite as big, but this one's pretty close to, going from one that might have been a pound and a quarter, pound and a half, up. Listen, and I'm intentionally letting y'all in on just how long it takes sometimes, how much patience it takes. I mean, this fish, I set up on this fish 2 times, man. It's not like I just caught him in these 2 or 3 casts. It takes some time sometimes, and easily, like I said earlier, it ain't nothing for it to take from 15 to 30 minutes and God knows how many casts to finally get these fish to grab that bait. And, they really not eating it. They just trying to get the bait out of their bed and take some time sometimes. And this one was absolutely worth the wait.
Right in the top of the mouth, baby, right where he's supposed to be. And he blind in one eye. But he could see well enough to get this. Now this fish right here looked at me yesterday when I rode by like, hey, what's up? You trying to do something? So yeah, I ain't gonna say a personal vendetta, but I felt like he tried to punk me yesterday. Another solid cold, man. I mean, just slowly working our way up. Not a giant, man, but a nice upgrade.
So throughout the day, man, I'm not really paying attention to what color cold tags I'm putting on these fish, but looking back on this video, I noticed that orange and yellow were the first two, and I ended up wearing those fish in, and that green and white, I just kept swapping them out, because those were some smaller fish, 3 and 4, that I started with. 5 went to weigh in, 6 cold out green or white, and then the bigger one and this one called out both green and white. So it's important to pay attention to what you're doing here. You can't make a mistake. I'm double checking to make sure white is the smallest one, because if you make a mistake in a close tournament like this, you end up going home with second place. So it was important that I pay close attention to.
Look like it's between orange and yellow. Let's put them on the beam. We can get this right when the time comes.
So yeah, like I said, just pay close attention to what's what, and don't make a mistake and call the wrong fish. So I ended up not culling yellow or orange, but I took that extra time to make sure that I called the right fish. I was ready, and I knew what the next fish was after putting them on the beam. So those are important things, man. It's the difference between winning and losing sometimes, or winning and second sometimes. Had I called the wrong fish, and I wouldn't have had 13.25. So
Yellow.
so yeah, I'm taking extra steps to make sure I remember the yellow is the smallest, to a point that I went into my memos on my phone and said, okay, let me put this in my memos on my phone, so if I catch a bigger fish and I need to call again, I know for sure it's yellow, and then anything after that will be yellow. It's easier when the fish small and you can just look at them and eyeball them, but by now, all 5 of them decent fish, or those 2 or 3 smaller fish are pretty good size. So it's worth those extra steps to make sure you don't make a mistake. That's why I say in my my Facebook post, it's flawless execution at this point. 13, 14 pounds, flawless execution. Don't make a mistake. And this fish, I found Friday in practice, man. I had no idea this fish was this small. I saw him for a split second, and I had to hide behind the dock so he wouldn't see me. I missed him probably 4 or 5 times, and once I caught him, I realized why.
That explains it. I think he was small. I didn't think he was quite that small. Jeez. So small, like he ain't had no business spawn. Put a little meat back in the pants, get somewhere and sit down.
Hey Siri, got your baby show with a beach show? Yeah. One of them fish. $3.90? Mm-hmm. Yep, $3.90. The very first boat we had of the day. I see some pretty fish right there. Catch anything smaller. Bob got 5. He's pissed. You dropped him on his head. He's got something. He's having a seizure now because of the concussion. He dropped him on his head. And it's like a pretty bag. Yeah, it is. $13.25.
Ain't that some shit? I knew he was gonna do that to us today.
All right, fishing fans, and that's my favorite part. There's a release. All right, big dog. Good job, good job. 11.